786-4338. Jordan Financial Services, the wise choice for Medicare.
Sports Day is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in our Thursday show today. Steve Webster with you, along with Aaron Clark. He is here today.
How's it going?
Mike Corson is in-house.
Howdy, howdy.
And the guy running the controls here today, so if something goes wrong, we know where to point the finger at. Mr. Mike Asher.
And you can already point the picture at me because we had a little bit of audio difficulty to start with, but we're okay now.
Okay,
technology.
Back behind the curtain goes the Wizard of Oz here on the program today. Okay, on our show, Great Bend Panther football coach Aaron Beck. This is the first day of school. He will be joining us via telephone. He'll be in here with selected players each week on the Thursday segment, but today we'll catch up on Panther football with the coach via the phone line today, another phone line. The guy that, man, he can do it all. He can announce, he can coach, he can sell real estate. The voice of the Larned Indians, Gary Wagner, is going to be on the show today, and we're going to talk about Great Bend Panther sports, a jamboree tomorrow night, the Great Bend Panther Booster Club with President Nicole Grove, who's going to stop by the studio here live on the program today. But let's get to our sounds of the past. Oh, you can't do it today. We don't have a.
We don't have.
Okay.
We gotta hold it back.
Oh, let me put your mic on. That would probably help there a little bit.
I'm just loud enough you can still hear me.
I can hear him anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I got all the mics up except that one down right there. So
it'll work. You'll be able
So returning tomorrow will be Mike Corson on the prowl. Okay, that will be coming up tomorrow. Okay, sounds the past 24 hours. More Chris Jones fallout. Andy Reid saying yesterday, no communication with Chris Jones the day after the all-pro defensive tackle indicated on social media that his contract holdout could stretch into the regular season. Reporter Adam Teicher has some worries for the KC defense moving forward. And Patrick Mahomes, what he's being a good teammate. You got to say, okay, we'll welcome him back with open arms. Now, the pushback has not been in Chris Jones' favor, according to some tweeter and X tweets. Fans figure he's got a contract, at least show up. Let's go.
So I think for the average fan, we don't make a whole lot of money. So to see somebody crying over that amount of money, it doesn't always make sense. You do have to remind that these are multi-billion-dollar franchises, and these guys are worth money. And so if he's the best defensive player on the team, he's trying to gauge his worth. Yes, he signed the contract, but you see these things renegotiated all the time. So I see both sides of it. I say get out there and work. You're one of the fortunate ones, but I see why people are upset.
Yeah. I mean,
It's
It's
a
one of
gift.
those where-
he took the guarantee. He took the 4-year deal because what if he got hurt after that first year?
Well, it's hard to say though because teams can still get out of contracts after. It's not like a 4-year deal is going to completely. They have to pay him. If he would have gotten injured after that first year, they're probably cutting him, and he's only getting a fraction of the percentage of the contract anyway. And I do agree with Corson that he is generating so much value for Kansas City, not even just with his play on the field, with the impact that he has on that defense, allowing Kansas City to go further. But you have to think about all the jersey sales and all the Chris Jones merchandise that's being sold in Chiefs shops and the NFL shop. He's generating so much value for the Chiefs that he wants
So
to see his
let's go out and
compensation.
sign him to a 4-year deal and overpay him. And so the last
And-
2 years of his contract, he's over the hill.
And that's
I
why-
understand that. I do, but you don't.
They can take the parking lot coffer from 1 or 2 games. He's set for 2 years.
It's a dangerous road to travel if of course, the ever famous Johnny Finnegan, who climbed the Empire State Building and jumped off. And then there was other people who want to be just like Johnny Finnegan, and they jumped off the Empire State Building too. Just because someone overpays, and I don't.
But
A
it's-
1-year deal? Do you think he'd go for a 1-year deal? Say, okay, we'll pay you $30 million this year. 1 year.
It'd be interesting because it would be a bold proposition from the Chiefs, because then if he does have another 15-sack year, he can come back to the table the next year.
I don't
for-
think he's getting another extended. The
I-
Chiefs
that's
will
what-
let him walk this year. After this season, I don't see him. It's the way the salary cap works, man. You can't.
and it'll be
You
tough
can do
for
that
him.
for your quarterback. You
It'll
can do
be-
it for your wide receivers.
And in a way, the Chiefs' defense has been built around Chris Jones. Well, you look at it, and he kind of is the backbone. What he allows them to do from the inside out.
Oh, I see it. I understand everything like that, but sometimes you can't have all the good-looking marbles in the sack.
Look what the neighbors did. Salvi Perez signed a long contract as a youngster, proved his worth. They did what was right, offered him more money. They renegotiated it because he built that value for himself.
But when they renegotiated it, he wasn't approaching 30, and he's a defensive tackle in the NFL. It's two different sports.
I do think it's going to be interesting to kind of shifting away from the financial side of it and kind of looking a little more at the football, and if that holdout actually does extend into 8 weeks into the season, that could be a rough go for the Chiefs. They play some pretty good teams at the first half of the year. I believe they've got the Jaguars in week 2. That's Justin Herbert. Or Trevor Lawrence, rather, my bad. Playing for the Jaguars, that's an elite quarterback. Then they bring Aaron Rodgers and the Jets in week 4.
I know.
So what'll be funny is if they take a loss or two in those first 8 weeks, what the dynamics would become of, are the fans angry at management or at the player? They both have solid arguments, so who do you blame it on?
Well, how long a deal do you give him? What do you give him, Mr. General Manager Mike Corson? You break the bank on him, give him a 4 or 5 year deal?
I'm like you with his age and his attitude. I don't like it. So I keep it short. I'll give him money. We want you to play. You're worth it, but we're not signing you long term.
But he wants those years, though. He wants that security.
I think
Throw something out there. Get creative. Give him a 2-year deal.
and that's what
I feel good about a 2-year
I think
deal.
a 2-year extension with that mimics maybe the first 2 years of some of the contracts we've recently signed from defensive tackles. Like if they give him a 2-year extension after this year that, and for all intents and purposes, is the same financially that Dexter Lawrence and Jeffrey Simmons got, but then just doesn't have those extra 2 years. I think that could be a middle ground.
How
that
about this? Okay, you play this year, and we're going to give you some incentives that are fairly easy to reach.
And that the incentive,
Then
branch
you
could
can
be
go out there.
really-
Then you don't get that new contract, and then Chris Jones all of a sudden starts playing dunk ball basketball in the team. In the team room.
Incentives could be a very good way to do it, especially if you do a kind of sack-based incentive. After
No,
coming off
I
of
want
a
that
career year.
guaranteed money, so they could come up. So
Right in front of him, I get my phone. Nick Saban, Georgia, who you got? Why are we paying this guy when we get some hungry kid in here?
That's
You're comparing Chris Jones to Nick Saban.
No.
The potential prospects
Yeah,
that
yeah.
the like
Oh.
the
They tend to
defensive tackle-
develop NFL players down there. There's a line of them coming. Why is this guy so special? That's the other outlook on it.
It's tempting to think that they could try to sub in a young, just upstart player in an upcoming draft. But with how they built their
Put a
defensive
fat guy
line,
in there and send the house, man,
And
because
they're-
that's what it'll be. So
and they're already so young on the edge, though, that kind of having that presence of Chris Jones these next couple of years kind of seems like it was built into the defense's plans. They have George Karlaftis and Felix Anudike-Uzama on the edges. Having Chris Jones inside takes a lot
I
of
know.
pressure off
Put me a
them, and
fat
that's-
guy in there. I mean, I'm not going to, you can't upset.
Well, you can't just be a fat guy. Like, it has to be someone who can kind of rush the pass.
You know what I'm talking
I
about.
got you.
Yeah. Oh, let's okay. Bring
Well,
in the
that's what I'm
sumo
like. I'm trying to,
wrestlers. We're going to
like,
get the biggest one.
It
and
may
we'll
be
just-
harder to fill Chris Jones' spot with a young guy like in reality than on paper.
I just don't. I don't see. And again, we talked about this morning. How do you view what Chris Jones is doing right now? The thing I get, the big, the NBA basketball shorts, a baggy T-shirt, on the couch with a huge bag of Doritos, watching TV.
And I think if he was the
You know,
wide receiver,
I'm sure that he's probably working out, but it's not.
if he was a wide receiver, he may be posting the workout pictures because it seems like they're always letting you know when they're doing the speed ladder. But he's a defensive tackle. He's not going to be out there posting the workout videos. But I would expect him to still be staying in good shape.
Since it's the hottest, summer in the history of the planet and the universe, how often he's he been even going outside? You think
That is the. He's gonna have to get used to that Missouri heat and humidity, maybe.
maybe go out. Well, no one goes out and gets their newspaper anymore. So what is he going outside for?
Well, why would you need your newspaper when you can just head on over to GreatBendPost.com and get all the great
Exactly.
stories right there?
Oh, you're solid. Russell Wilson. Feeling the pressure this season? No, I embrace the pressure. That is the story of the year, because if Russell Wilson is good, the Broncos are going to be good.
They
I mean, they're going to be good anyway. I mean,
the defense last year was rolling. They've got plenty of playmakers on that
yeah,
side.
it's
especially-
a question of the year in the NFL. Chewy Loera yesterday, his young squad getting ready for the 2023 season. Good interview with Mike Corson yesterday. Impressions on the Panther soccer team, Mike?
One of those rare years, 2 wins. Nobody wants that, but no seniors last year, so he gets a chance to get everybody back a little bit bigger, stronger, experienced. Playing in the WAC, though, always tough, so you're guaranteed, 8 solid games right there. They're going to go to May South and see this kid that's playing some professional soccer. So I wish they were coming here for that game, but you'll have to drive to Mays for that one.
Okay, the call on KVGB yesterday afternoon, Bobby Wood Jr. homers to left center. That gave the Royals a 4-0 lead. They beat the Athletics 4-0. They salvaged the final game of that 3-game series. Cole Reagan's pitching well again, and he's been pretty solid. I heard a stat the other day that was incredible. You talk about your rotation, Hesh. You say, okay, well, your rotation. You're going to go to a 4-man rotation, you're going to go to a 5-man rotation, or maybe, you're going to do the new thing because we want to protect our pitchers. You want to go to a 6-man rotation. You know how many starting pitchers the Royals have used this year?
Like 20.
30.
30? Wow. Okay. Did not know that. But a lot of those have been the starters, the openers, as they call them, or whatever.
Well, even that.
I understand that, but that's, because Zerpa started yesterday or the other day and was not very good. Now, Greinke came in and pitched well. That was 2 days
So
ago.
you heard 20. Okay, maybe it was 20 because I was sitting there thinking 30. Good Lord. But even I think it might have been 30. We'll look at this.
We can have a bet on this one?
Well, you got to think about all the guys who aren't even on the team that have made starting pit, like Brian Yarbrough. He got traded at the deadline. He's made a few.
That's why it's an honor, man. If you throw out the first pitch at the Royals game, they may keep you around to be the opener that game. That was a weird game to listen to yesterday. It was like listening to, Aaron doing a Western Athletic Conference doubleheader in baseball. You're down at the sports complex, the fans are right there in front of you. There was nobody there, and then you're going to say, "So the team," and it'd be like 3 guys yell. That.
There was a comedian who had a joke. He's heckling Mike Piazza, and it happened to be a quiet day. He's like, "Piazza, what? Nothing. So it's like you can't even. They'll know who's talking.
Yeah, you can hear individual conversation. Well, did you see what the stock market did yesterday? 2-1 pitch, and here it comes down the middle. Yeah, man.
Got to make sure you're not talking about how you see the second baseman. Missed
Yeah,
that
okay,
pitch?
wow. All right, Buster Olney, Shohei Ohtani out for the rest of the season because of a torn ligament in his right elbow, and he thinks maybe that gets him back to the Angels because he can't set a value on him right now, even though he's like, so he goes from 2 players to 1 if he's not going to pitch, right?
And there's been some talk of overuse too. This is what pitchers go through, so they didn't throw him extra innings. Evidently, he's still able to hit, which is interesting. We don't normally see when pitchers have that injury how they handle the bat. So this is kind of an experiment.
That's what Bryce Harper did last year. He couldn't throw, but he could still swing it.
It's always awkward when he ran it into second base. No.
Silence.
He had Tommy John surgery in 2018, so this could be his second one that's coming up. And for the first time since 2017, the Lone Star State will be represented in the U.S. Championship game of the Little League World Series. Needville, Texas, took down Northwest Region champion Seattle, Washington, 1-0 in extra innings. They've punched their ticket to the national title game of the Little League World Series. They'll face either California, Tennessee, or Washington in Saturday's national title game, depending on what unfolds in the losers bracket. So there you go. Sounds of the past 24 hours. Sports headlines today. Barton Soccer playing yesterday. Got their season underway. Both the men and women picking up wins. The men getting a 2-0 victory over Dodge. And then the women's team, they held on and they picked up a 3-1 victory yesterday. Brett Yormark, I asked this to the young Padawan this morning, Mike and Hesh. Do you think Brett Yormark, commissioner of the Big 12 Conference, will be sitting in a suite at Darrell K. Royal Memorial Stadium in Austin for the final game of the season, or will he be in the end zone seats after he came out yesterday and basically told second-year Red Raiders coach Joey McGuire to take care of business just like they did last year when they beat the Longhorns 37-34 in Lubbock. Yormark says he plans to be at Texas' final game in the Big 12 Conference.
He'd probably get a seat up there, but he might not want to eat the food.
Big screen TV from the parking lot.
Yeah, exactly. Sir, we're not going to allow you in the game today. Okay, horrible injury. And if you're one of those gruesome people to go to ESPN and watch it, Stone Garrett going after that home run last night basically caught his leg in the fence. It was, I didn't look at it. You can, I guess, if you're there. And, all right, we got to get to Aaron Beck here. Lionel Messi. This is what soccer's supposed to be. A 2-0 game last night. Miami's down against FC Cincinnati. And they come back and tie it up, take the lead in extra time. And then Cincinnati ties it up. And then Miami wins it in penalty kicks.
I believe Messi had 2 assists. He assisted on
They're scoring, man. The best player in the world, man, is leading his team. I mean, they put goals in.
And I saw that was on, and I meant to watch it, but I watched the one that I thought was the finale against Nashville, and it goes straight from tied in extra regular time to penalty kicks. They don't do the extra 30 minutes like World Cup does. But I thought it was way more boring than women's World Cup soccer.
Oh, my God. Okay, let's see.
Unwatchable.
All right. 12:48. Unwatchable. Did you see the TV numbers on the Women's World Cup? On Fox, the big network.
Well, they're at 2 in the
I
morning.
was going to say 2 in the morning is some of the deal, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, 6 million people. That's pretty good. What is that, 0.82%? Okay, yeah.
Let's just be happy it's football.
Why are we
season.
even debating soccer? I just thought I'd throw you a bone and give you, it was exciting. You said, well, no, I'd rather watch a 0-0 tie that goes through 2.
I tried.
Aaron Beck, high school football, Panthers coming up next.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Barton Community College is excited to announce the expansion of the welding program with an Associate of Applied Science degree and a 2-semester certificate. With our expanded offerings, you'll gain knowledge in welding techniques, safety procedures, blueprint reading, and more. Get hands-on training from Barton faculty with industry experience, ensuring you develop the skills needed to excel in your career. Now enrolling. Learn more at welding.bartonccc.edu.
Extend the life of your equipment with Cenex Premium Greases. Engineered with quality-based oils and well-balanced formulas to protect equipment in a wide range of temperatures and tough conditions. The Cenex line of grease products offer excellent rust protection, water resistance, and anti-wear properties to extend equipment life. Cenex Grease delivers the dependability you need to keep your operation running like a well-oiled machine.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
It's Panther football time on Sports Day as we present Great Bend football coach Aaron Beck. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Head coach Aaron Beck joining us here on Sports Day today. And it's not hectic at all today, is it? I mean, you're trying to run football practice the first day of school. What's things like down in the halls of GBHS?
Yeah, this whole week has kind of been a whirlwind. It kind of feels like there's not enough hours in the day right now to get everybody ready and everybody where they need to be. But we're adjusting, adapting on the flow, and kids have done a great job of, with the heat and understanding that time changes for practices are going to be a lot different.
Yeah, that first week was probably pretty good. I mean, temperature-wise, especially the first few days, and then it got really hot. And you might think, well, coaches like it hot, so you're playing. No, because you can get a lot more done when it's not hot. But kind of talk about some of the ways, Aaron, that you've had to adapt here, especially this week.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. That first week, last week, it just was nice weather, beautiful out there. The only challenges we kind of had was we still weren't allowed on our field, so we were back on the practice field, which is, I learned about day 3, that it is not a full 53.5 yards wide. As we're running 7-on-7 stuff, I knew there was something a little funky about some of our pass drops. So that was a little bit challenging. So it's been nice, even with the heat. It has been unbelievable to get out onto this new game field and to get these kids running around on it underneath the lights. It's been fun, and they've done really well with the heat. Honestly, once that sun goes down behind the press box, about 7:15. It's pretty nice out there, so we're able to get a lot of good quality work and reps in. I know these kids sometimes they like to go in the mornings, but I think they like that because they know there's an end time because I got to get to work. So the evenings, the evenings have been better for us.
And that's an added boost, man. You get out there on your new yard, so that gets some extra life there too. Yeah, and I really enjoyed the juice they've had in practice, and it kind of gives it a little bit. We're going to be playing at this time here in obviously tomorrow at the Jamboree, and then a week from now when McPherson comes to town. So I think we've got some good quality work out of it. Okay, a lot of expectations. People are really, really excited about not only football but Panther athletics overall. So how do you handle those expectations with your young team? Well, expectations are always good. That means within the program, within these kids, you're doing something right. So I don't think our kids have kind of worried about that. They're a group that every time they step on the field, they compete, they expect to win. So that's a good thing to have. And I feel like, as like you said, as an entire athletic program, I think we're heading in the right direction in a lot of areas, and our kids have really bought into the Great Bend First type of mentality and supporting each other, and it's been fun to see. And I'm excited to see it tomorrow at the Jamboree with kind of
doing a little bit of a fall sports kickoff with every team, and just to kind of see the community and these kids in school to come together here and underneath the new or on the new fields, and it'll be exciting time.
Yeah, pretty good jamboree too, man. That's gonna be you're gonna get a pretty good test tomorrow.
We always do, and that's the things you always want to get out of a jamboree. And I told our kids this yesterday that obviously you want to eliminate some mistakes by week 2. Let's quit having the mistakes that we made on day 1 or 2, and try to eliminate those tomorrow. But the biggest thing you get out of this jamboree that you can't simulate or you can't duplicate within, especially if you have a lot of guys going both ways, is the physicality that Scott City, Hoisington, and Russell are going to bring to the table. So that's what I love. That's why I love bringing Hoisington and Scott City. They've come for since this thing started. Up front, they are some hard-nosed teams that really wake us up, because you can't afford to waste a quarter versus McPherson in another week. So let's get out of the way. Let's wake up. Let's get ready to roll, and get ourselves prepared for the real deal next Friday.
Well, we're really looking forward to having you in here every week, and of course meeting some of the players on this Panther football team. So we'll learn more, about these individual players for sure. But so we'll just kind of an overall thing of the things that you feel really good about with this squad going into the season, Aaron.
Well, if you look at the top, our seniors, we don't bring back very many. It's a pretty small class, but if you look at those 8 that we do, they are huge contributors on both sides of the ball. With guys like Matthew Johnson and Colton Brock, I mean, those guys have played a ton of snaps in this program and played both sides of the ball. Bring back Cody Miller and Maddox Spray, some offensive weapons. Then on the defensive side of the ball, you look at Deion Jones coming back after an injury, and Cooper Lyles and Caden Hoffman. And it's just an exciting, solid core of our seniors. But then on the flip side of that, the youth that we have. So I think I counted, we starting about 6 sophomores on offense is a pretty wild thing to think of. But 2 of those freshmen from last year started for us. So it's kind of a cool mixture of some veterans and some youth that I know we're really excited about.
Aaron, overall depth in the program, we had a lot of guys that did go both ways last year. Do you see that continuing, or do you see more guys playing on one side of the ball for a lot of the game?
Well, Steve, I think and I think a lot of people in this town know, there's a few kids within our program that you can't keep them off the field. I mean, you just can't. They're that tough nosed kids that they help you so much on both sides of the ball. We'd be crazy not to play them on both. And so we'll still have some of that. I feel like we definitely have better depth, and I don't feel like we have to do it in so many key positions. I think our young quarterback, we won't have to play him on defense, which will help him tremendously settle in. But Matthew Johnson and Trent Kern, I mean, those guys, you just don't see it very often. They're a rare breed. To have 2 starting offensive linemen go start at middle linebacker is pretty old school, but we don't worry about that with them, and it's pretty rare to see. But I feel like overall depth is definitely better from freshman to JV to varsity. We'll be able to fill all 3 teams, and that's a good thing to feel and have heading into a season.
You just went way up on the pedestal, Aaron. I'm just telling you, because I couldn't be a coach over there and, watching a team move down the field and look to my right and Kern standing right next to me. I want him in the game. I mean, if you can play both ways, man, let's do it, and, try to rest him when you can.
That's exactly right. And I've always been a pretty true believer in that, but it's definitely come out a little bit more with a few of these kids that, like you said, there's no way. You can't let something happen on the field and see your best player standing by you on the sideline. And I mean, guys like Trent and MJ, and they wouldn't allow it either. They would run out there. They would run out there and sub themselves in. So that's the type of dudes you love to have. I mean, Trent, you got to reel him back in sometimes, because he's pretty crazy when it comes to stuff like that.
Okay, you mentioned the quarterback position. I know you haven't been asked about that, but talk about that quarterback position.
Yeah, Dax Minton's coming off a couple injuries. He was a little injury plagued as a freshman, and it kind of stunk for him because I really felt like even coming into as a freshman, we were pretty excited about him. But he has worked his tail off to develop as a quarterback, to come back from injury, and had a great summer, had a great team camp. I mean, the kid throws it exceptionally well, and now he's kind of starting to see what it's like to have bullets flying in your face with a defensive line rushing you. And he's adapted well. And then when you have targets like he has to throw to right now, helps tremendously. I mean, Ian has just developed into such a physical specimen out there at receiver, and so it makes life a little easier knowing you're kind of protected by him. And then you got Jake Hall, the other outside receiver, another big body target, and then you throw in Maddox and Colton on the insides. So he's doing a nice job of utilizing his weapons, and we just got to make sure we protect him, and then still rely heavily with Cody in the ground game. I mean, the kid ran for almost 1,500 yards last year and had an outstanding junior campaign. So it's pretty good complex of skill kids, but as you and most people that know football understand, it all starts up front, and that's the area we got to make sure we shore up, and we got a lot of new faces up there. So that'll be the test tomorrow.
Yeah, we've talked about it a million times. Yeah, you come up there, that these are units that have to work well. The offensive lineman sitting in here with us, so Aaron Clark's over shaking his head. Yeah. But how do you get an offensive line to gel together? Is it a lot of just reps playing together?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. It is the more they can develop that trust within each other and understand the concept, the play design, the front, knowing who's doubling to where, who's got a block back, who's pulling. I mean, as you develop that trust, and that's what's nice about guys like MJ, a guy that can really take the reins of an offensive line and bring guys like Carter Brown, who's a sophomore center for us, and guys like Owen Kaiser, who's going to step into our other starting tackle position, and a new guy, and Tatum coming in as a guard. So it'll be a good mesh of some new and old with Kern and MJ, and then some new faces. And as they play, and there's always going to be growing pains with an offensive line. But I really felt like that last year. They developed a great relationship with each other and a trust with each other, and that means a lot.
You mentioned Ian Premer. He grew in front of us last year during basketball season. He started the season 6'3", and then he ended the season 6'4". So is he like 6'6" or 6'7" now?
Well, what's crazy is I went back and looked at the roster last year. I think he weighed 170 pounds as a freshman, and he's over 200 now.
Wow.
So he really has grown into his body. I mean, I think we had him listed at 6'4", but man, he almost looks 6. He looks 6'5" to me, and we did measure his wingspan at 6'8". So his measurables are pretty impressive, and he's just such a competitor. I mean, you guys know, you've all seen him play and compete at anything he does. So he's fun, and he just makes everybody around him better. I mean, these kids, they just all love to talk trash to each other, and it just builds. It just builds competition and builds that winning mindset. They hate to lose, and they let each other know about it.
You get somebody like that, it's like having something in your toy box that no one else has in their toy box. I mean, you can do a lot of different things with it. You can split him out. You can run him tight. Heck, you can probably put him in the backfield if you want to. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I've always believed as a coach, and some years it's better than others, but I've always been a believer in calling players, not plays, and trying to find ways to get kids in positions to make mismatches. And when you got guys, like you said, when you got guys that can create mismatches, and I don't think I've never had a receiving core where all four of them are over 6'1".
Wow.
Is gonna hopefully create some matchup nightmares for kids, and we just got to figure out how to utilize them and get them in the positions to be successful.
Okay, Aaron Beck with us here, Coach. What do you want to see tomorrow night? Obviously, execution, things like that, but kind of your plans for a jamboree where you're going to see three different opponents on the same night.
Yeah, it is always. It's pretty wild. It's fast paced. Obviously, we just want to keep everybody healthy. I mean, with the heat, being smart, and I know all the coaches and ads. We've all been in communication this week, trying to figure out the game plan with that. But defensively, I feel like we're going to see some of the best offensive linemen as units running the stuff they love, out of the single wing, out of the flex bone with Scott City and Hoisington, and then bringing in Russell that runs the spread is something we haven't had. We felt like we've always kind of had a couple running teams that we love to see the physicality, but we also need to be tested in the secondary. We got some new faces back there. So with 3 teams, it's tough. It puts some stress on the defense having to prepare for 3 offenses. So how we adjust on the fly, how we adapt throughout the game, when things don't go your way, how do you regroup and understand next play mentality? So huge learning experience. Let's get out healthy. Let's get a lot of kids reps and find out some good eval, some great film that we can study on Saturday and get ready for game week.
Yeah, Jamboree buffet tomorrow night, so you get all kinds of different looks. Aaron, thanks a bunch. We'll see you in studio next week. Enjoy your first day of school, and have a good one tomorrow night.
All right. Thanks, Steve. It was great talking to you.
Okay. All right. Aaron Beck joining us here on Sports Day. We'll talk Larned Indian football coming up next with the voice of the Indians, Gary Wagner. Stay with us.
Marmee Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the largest inventory of new Rams and Jeeps in central and western Kansas. Make this the summer event and come into Marmee's today and get a $10,000 rebate on a new 1500 Ram Laramie truck and save $7,000 on a new Grand Cherokee Limited demo. Lease a new Wrangler Hybrid demo and get a total of $13,000 off MSRP. Marmee's needs used vehicles and will give fair trade and allowance or just buy your old vehicle for cash. Visit marmees.net. Marmees, make it happen.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
Hi, my name is Dalton Jones, a patient that I helped. She came in with chronic back pain that she'd been having for years. After several weeks of showing her exercises, several different interventions, we were able to get her back to where she can do her shopping without leaning on the shopping cart at all.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Hi, hon. Want to tag along to the grocery store with me?
Sure, but I just filled up the car with gas, and with those prices, we gotta be careful with groceries.
It's crazy. All the basic staples have gotten so expensive. But good news. Tina told me about this great app called Upside that pays you back big time just for using it. She said with the Upside app, she earned serious cash back on groceries and gas.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that we can actually get paid back real cash when we use the Upside app to buy gas and groceries?
Yep. Tina said they made around $200 already.
Whoa. Finally, something that pays us back money instead of costing us more. I'm downloading the free Upside app now.
Download the free Upside app to earn real cash back every time you buy gas and groceries. Cash out anytime right to your bank account, to PayPal, or an e-gift card. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code ESPN3 to save an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Remember, use code ESPN3 to save an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey and Wisconsin.
This man can teach, coach, broadcast, and even auction off your estate. Sports Day presents one half of the Larned Dynamic Duo broadcast team.
Of the Larned High School Indians on the program. Wags, how you doing?
I'm good. What's that saying? You can do a lot of things, but none of them, really great. You just kind of, master of none. I don't know what that saying is.
Okay, wait a second. We got a special appearance here by Mike Escher. Stand by.
That would be Jack of all trades, master of none, because that's my type.
That's it. That's it.
All right. There's a lot of excitement around Larned High School sports and football right now. You have a new coach, and you've got pretty much a new stadium. What's it look like over there? I can't wait to get on it tomorrow night.
Every day, from dusk till dawn, Sundays, they were out there on the 4th of July. it's been quite a process, and it's been kind of fun. I try to go by there just about every day, either on my way to work or on my way home, just to kind of keep up with the progress. And you just see a little bit more every day. And what started as a big lump of dirt in the middle of that thing with a giant loader sitting on top of it has turned out to be a beautiful facility. So it is exciting, and whether people are for it or against it, the fact is that we've got it, and hopefully people will be proud of it. And it's just another attraction to hopefully get kids out for sports and doing things that maybe they wouldn't normally want to do.
What's it like have you seen it when they're out there? Have they practiced under the lights with that? I want to see what the lights are like.
Well, I did. I happened to be out for a little motorcycle ride with Mama the other night, and we noticed the lights were on, so we went by, and I think they were just kind of testing out the lights and checking it out. And I'm not sure I'll be able to call a game from the press box because I'll actually be able to see all the corners of the field. I'm used to just I pretty much just made stuff up. When things got down in the corners, they were so dark down there. I was just phoning it in at that point because it was pretty dark down there, as you know. But no, it's just beautiful. It's well lit, and I think it's something to be proud of.
Brady Keith said he wanted to change the culture of the program, and one of the first things he did, you'd think, changing the cultures, fixing up the locker room. Well, I was in that locker room before, and yeah, everything he said was accurate. I want to see that too. But talk about changing the culture in the Larned football program, and what's that mean as far as you're concerned?
I don't know. I can't say we had a poor culture to begin with, but I think as a new coach comes in, you do want to put your stamp on, on what you're doing. And I think what I really liked with what Brady's doing is getting the kids involved in more than just football. They had a day or two this summer where they went out and did some community service kind of things. If somebody needed something done around their house or in their yard or whatever, his guys, he had his guys out doing stuff like that. That's how you endear yourself to people who may not necessarily, have kids in school or have grandkids in school or really know what's going on at all in your program. And so, I think that's smart. I think it also gives those kids an idea that you don't just if you're just a taker all your life and you never give back, that's not really very fulfilling. And sometimes it takes a while to figure that out. But sooner rather than later, you realize that giving back is usually a lot better or feels a lot better than getting something. And it was the same thing with the locker room. Probably could have tried to hire somebody to come in there or complained that, the facility upgrades didn't include, upgrading the locker room or whatever. But instead, just went out, solicited some donations on their own. And, those guys put in the sweat equity. The football players and the coaches, they were the ones that were up there getting that done. And, I'll bet it gets treated a lot better because those guys are the ones who actually had to do it.
That's
when someone else does it for you, it's easy to maybe not treat it as well. But when your sweat and blood and tears are in that thing, I think it makes a big difference. And so I think just culture-wise, I think that's the biggest thing. It's just an ownership that isn't necessarily about just football.
Okay, what are your feelings about this Larned team coming in? 3-6 last year, got off to 3-1 start. Schedule, of course, got a lot tougher at that point. But your feelings about this team going into this season, and of course they've got a jamboree tomorrow night. We'll see some good teams over there, especially with Ellsworth in town. So your thoughts on the 2023 Indian football team?
Well, to me, a lot of it is going to depend on the leadership of some seniors. There's some really good athletes in that group. Of course, Carson Shaver is underclassman, but just an athletic kid. And there's some great athletes in this class of seniors: Brady Hope, Luke Fisher, Ty Smith, Talon Reynolds. These are athletic guys. You got some guys that have a lot of experience on the line, like a Michael Graff or Ricky Slattery. I'm going to leave some people out, and I don't mean to, but those are just kids that kind of come to mind as ones who have had the opportunity to learn on the fly a little bit. A guy like Ty Smith, man, you just seen him just grow up on Friday nights, right in front of us, and he's a monster. Playing linebacker, he's just grown up. He's athletic. Luke Fisher, he's coming off a state wrestling championship last year, and I think just about anybody that knows wrestling, knows football, says good wrestlers make good football players, and vice versa. So you got a kid like that that's just, he reminds me of Corey Schlesinger, who played for Nebraska and played for Detroit. Just kind of, they nicknamed him Anvil Head just because he was so tough, just a battering ram. And so, you can use Luke to carry the ball. You can use him to block. Defensively, he's going to be tough. Of course, Brady Hope is just super athletic, and unfortunately, with the numbers, the numbers thing at our level, you've got to stay healthy, and that's going to be the biggest challenge as to if somebody goes down, who's coming up next.
Wags, look forward to seeing you tomorrow night, and just 1 week away till the dynamic duo rides again. From
week away.
Yeah.
Can't believe it's time again, but here we go.
At the Big E over in Larned. Wags, thanks. We'll see you tomorrow.
You bet. Thanks.
Okay, Gary Wagner joining us here, the voice of the Larned High School Indians. Larned, wow, what a way to christen your new field by taking on your big rival, the Pratt Greenbacks, a week from tomorrow night. Well, we've got a jamboree in Great Bend tomorrow, and Great Bend Panther Booster Club has a lot of things going on, not only tomorrow, but with the entire season. We're going to talk to the Booster Club president, Nicole Grove. That's coming up next here on Sports.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
Take your passion for dance to the next level with the new dance instruction program at Barton Community College. Whether you're a seasoned dancer or just starting out, Barton's experienced faculty will prepare you for a rewarding career. Gain skills in studio management, marketing, and finance, along with dance techniques and fundamentals. Now enrolling for the fall semester. Learn more at teachdance.bartonccc.edu.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
At Nextech Wireless, it's wireless on your terms. You pick a 36, 24, or 18-month agreement and get a device on us like the iPhone 14 or the new Google Pixel 7. Stuck in a contract with your current provider? Switch now and get up to $1,000 per line. For more details, stop by your nearest Nextech Wireless location today or call or text our customer care team at 877-621-2600. Nextech Wireless, home on the range.
What day is it? It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Brought to you by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back, Sports Day. Nicole Grove with us. She is the president of the Great Bend Panther Booster Club. Well, first of all, congratulations for becoming president. A successful campaign to run this great organization. Welcome to Sports Day.
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's all going to get started here, and of course, you guys have been working behind the scenes. Talk about what's been going on with the Booster Club just to get ready for tomorrow night's Jamboree.
Oh, a lot. So
yeah.
we've had a couple of meetings so far this summer. And the other night we had a walkthrough because the stadium's still being worked on.
A walkthrough with, okay.
With Westerhouse, Mr.
Okay.
Westerhouse, the AD, because all the new turf and everything, it's really exciting. So we had that, but our setup's going to be a little different than everybody's used to. We're going to be on the south side over by concessions, just so for the tailgate, pulled pork tailgate. Is going to be moved to the south side just while we finish up construction there. So.
Okay, so what's going on tomorrow night to help fundraise for the Great Bend Panther Booster Club?
So it's going to be a lot of fun. We have the Jamboree, which they have every year, but we're going to combine that with Meet the Panthers. And there's a tailgate. The Rec is actually sponsoring it. It's their 75th year.
Yep.
And they have a bunch of free fun activities for the kids to do while they're there. Free snow cones, thank goodness, because it is going to be so hot. But there's going to be a lot of fun things going on with volleyball starting at 5 in the main gym. Then at 6 starts the pulled pork tailgate. And 6:45, Meet the Panthers, where they'll meet the football team first. And then throughout the night, they're going to periodically meet the fall sports.
Great.
And then 7 p.m. is football, of course. And then we have a raffle drawing that was donated by the Eldridge Fencing and Rec. And it's a Traeger tailgate grill. And it's a portable one. It's really nice. So we have that, and there's a drawing for it at 8 o'clock. So we're selling tickets all day long. So.
Okay, so all day long. You can...
Oh, well, I mean, the whole time from the start of it. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to have a kiosk downtown. That'd be
so
good.
we were going to be there sooner, but it's going to be really hot. So we tried to save all of us from sweating all day and just do half the day. So.
Okay, well, that's excellent. So a lot of fun things. Talk about what the Panther Booster Club provides to the athletic department and activities at Great Bend High School, not just athletics.
So booster clubs, we've got a lot of fun things that we do, but a lot of it's important. We get to support a lot of the athletes. And one of the things is we recognize all sports throughout the year. Just football's our big push to start off in the kickoff, and everybody's super excited. But we, last year, the group came up with an Uncommon Athlete Scholarship. So you get to work towards that all year long. There's certain stipulations, and we get to hand those out to the athletes for them to try to hit that goal. We implemented a midweek boost for every high school sport. So in the middle of the week, we try to get you a snack because everybody shows up for a snack. And we did, we assisted in the improvement of the Hall of Fame for the Commons area, which is really exciting because they're going to get to go digital on it. So that was that was a big donation towards the athletic department, but also for all the high school records from the start of Great Bend's athletic careers and stuff like that. The records will go in there, and they'll have one in the pack as well. It's a digital touchscreen, and you can go ahead and find all the records, pictures from.
So you don't have to go down here, and that probably saves some space too, doesn't it? I mean,
it is, but also we get to move those pictures to another spot because there's some blank walls in the hallways and stuff in the gymnasium. So we're still going to get all that historic nostalgia, but we get to update it too and bring it into the next generation where they have all that stuff is digital and they can QR code it and everything. It's really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how can people get involved? Because maybe your kids have already graduated or you don't have kids at Great Bend High School or in USD 428, but you're from Great Bend. I mean, these kids are wearing Great Bend on their jerseys. How can people be part of the Booster Club?
So we still sell memberships. They're $20 a piece, and you and your wife can still be alumni and boosters and support the booster clubs, and those are $20 each, and that's just your membership for the year. We recently sent out letters to businesses, and that's where they get to put up their banners in Memorial Stadium, and then we'll move them over to the basketball stadium in the winter. And those sponsorship packages went out too. So, but if anybody wants to, you can email. Can I
Absolutely, there? Okay. Yes.
You can email me at gbhsboosterclub@gmail.com. So gbhsboosterclub@gmail.com, and we can send out the sponsorship letter to you, or I'll contact you.
Okay. Are you excited?
Yes, and I will say we have about 30 members. It's a really fun group. They're a hardworking group. They show up when it's 104 or 5 to walk through the stadium, and I am so excited. That the stadium's upgrade is going to be so pretty, but it's, we have to adapt right now. But it's a great group of people. Oh, we have a couple of new ones, and one of them's he grills for competition grilling. One of the dads on the Booster Club. So the food is
good depth in the program.
Yeah, right. The food is going to be top notch this year. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and all those athletes that are playing right now. I was listening to y'all on the drive here. You mentioned Trenton Kern. His parents are involved. It's a good group of people that just want to show up and cheer on their kids. Owen Kaiser, his folks are involved. It's just everybody's kids are playing sports, and they would be there anyways. But this is a way to be involved and give back, and it's just a lot of fun.
You need to raffle like a new floor off with Rex. I mean, that's
I'll dibs.
Well, thanks so much for coming in today, and thanks for all you do. And how many kids do you've got? A freshman?
I've got a sophomore.
Sophomore. Okay.
Oh, yes. I get to talk about my kids too.
Yes.
All right.
This is bonus time.
Yes. So I actually have a sophomore, and he played basketball last year, and then baseball. He's a big baseball boy. And I have an 8th grader, and he's coming up. So I was telling him the Booster Club is a 4-year term, but the presidency is only 1 year. And I said I would really like to get mine out of the way before both boys are there, so then you just pitch in. The presidencies, you feel like you got to have your fingers in all of it. Yeah. But like once you're done with that, then it's just showing up and putting in the work on the fun stuff, But like kind of organizing it's what I'm doing now, But yeah, I'm excited this year. That group of boys, that sophomore group of boys, is a lot of talent. There's a lot coming up too.
There's going to be a lot of things to cheer about for Great Bend Panthers.
Oh, for years to come. I'm so excited.
Nicole, thanks so much for coming in today. Nicole Grove is the Booster Club president for the Great Bend Panther Booster Club here on Sports
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
I hit it again, Hesh. Right on the money. The bump ends, and then we go into the closing music, right?
You are a professional.
I am, and sometimes things just work out like that. Isn't it amazing? Okay.
I'd rather be lucky than good anytime, right?
Okay. Great show today. Aaron Beck getting us ready for Panther football. Gary Wagner getting us ready for Larned Indian football. And Nicole Grove getting us ready for Panther athletics. Hey, get those Booster Club memberships, okay? On the show tomorrow, Connor Nichols, Sunflower Sports Solutions, makes his return to the shows, running his own website now. It is pretty cool. And he's going to be on with us tomorrow. And I do believe, Aaron Clark, we have a Panther Prowl tomorrow.
Mike Corson going to be bringing it to you.
All right. That's tomorrow on Sports Day.